So, good morning, everyone. So, guys, let's go ahead now. Okay, so let's start with the guys Azure Databricks. So, guys, Azure Databricks is nothing but basically this is a cloud service. Azure Databricks is a cloud service, everyone. So, Azure Databricks is a cloud service, guys, where this cloud service is used to perform the following. What is that? The following operations here. The first one is what is that? You can say data migration job. Data migration job can be done using the Azure Databricks, and we can perform the data integration job, and then we can perform the data summarization job as well. So using the Azure Databricks, okay, we can perform the following. What is that? Data migration, data integration, and as well as the data summarization. So as already we have discussed, what is data integration, what is data summarization, and what is data migration yesterday. So today we'll start with the process here, guys. Okay. So what do you mean this today? So guys, the first one, let's start with the data here today. Okay. So what is data? Data is nothing but what, guys? Information. Data is nothing but what? Information. So what is it? Data is nothing but, guys, it is the information. Data is nothing but what? Information. So now from where do we get this information or the data, guys, everyone? So always, for every process, everywhere, data is essential. That means without the data, there is no business. So we get the data from the business here, guys. We get the data from the business. We get the data from the business. We get the data from the business here, everyone. So we get the data from the business. Now, when it comes to the business, what type of business we can have from where we get the data, guys? The first one you can say, guys, everyone, what is this type of data, or what is the type of source way, or what is the type of business where from where we get the data here? So we can say, guys, we can get the data from the social networking sites. We can get the data from the social networking sites. So what are the social networking sites, guys? We can say here you have, what is it? The Facebook, FB, and then you have the Insta. Okay, you have the Facebook, then we have the Insta and Twitter. Facebook, Insta, Twitter. Okay, and then you have, what is that? Okay, Facebook, Twitter, that is Insta, Twitter, and LinkedIn. These are all called as what? Yes, guys, these are all called as what, everyone? These are all called as what? We can say it as a source of getting the information. So what type of information it generates? It generates the, yes, guys, big data. It generates the big data, guys. It generates the big data. It generates the big data. That is called as what? Massive amount of data. It generates the big data. Okay, it generates the big data, guys. Again, so it generates a massive amount of data. Massive amount of data. So it generates the massive amount of data. It generates the massive amount of data. Okay, it generates the massive amount of data. Where the data or the information. So apart from this, what is it you have it? We can also get the data from the various. Okay, that is nothing but the business. So what is the various business from where we can expect the data, guys? So we can expect the data from the various business, that is called as what? Banking applications. We can also get the data from the banking applications. So whereas these banking applications are used at the banking sector level, guys. These, everyone, these applications, whatever we think we have it, okay. So whatever the, everyone, whatever the applications which are used at the banking level, whatever the applications which are used at the banks, okay, whatever the applications which are used at the bank, those are called as what? Banking applications. And these also generates the massive amount of data. We can say massive amount of data. What is that? Massive amount of data. Whereas apart from this, what is the other source from where we can expect the data, guys? Apart from this again we can get the data as an information, and this information, okay guys, this information is nothing but we can get it from the business. What type of business, guys? We can get the data from the business. So hence we can say, guys, the very important source where we expect the massive amount of data, that is called as what? Live streaming process. So what do you mean live streaming process? Where the live streaming process is a continuous process from where we expect the data, guys. Live streaming is a continuous process from where we expect the data, guys. Okay, so what is it? You have it. Live streaming process means what, guys? You can say you can get the data from the stock market. Stock market means share market. Live cricket match. So these are all the sources from where we expect the data. So this generates the massive amount of data. Okay, massive amount of data, or you can also call it as what? Huge volume of data. Huge volume of data. Huge volume of data. We can say it generates a huge volume of data. So these are the some of the sources or business from where we get the data. So all this data, guys, whatever we get it here, all this data. Okay, and apart from this, what are the other sources we can expect the data, guys? We can also get the data, everyone. We can also get the data, everyone. We can also get the data here or the information. We can also get the data or the information from the business. From the business, we can also get the expect the data from the business, guys. We can also get the data, expect the data from the business. We can also expect the data from the business, guys. So what if the type of business we can expect the data, guys, everyone? We can also expect the data from the business. Wherein can you say we can also expect the data from the business? We can also expect the data from the business. Wherein what is the type of business? Okay, we can say, guys, it can be human generated data, or machine generated data. So even this data is, what is that? Massive in nature. So hence this kind of a massive amount or the massive volume of the data. Hence this type of massive amount or massive volume of the data is called as, what is it, guys? Big data. Is called as what? Big data. It is called as what, guys? Big data. So here we can say, what's it, guys? Big data. Here we can say it as what? Big data. Big data. So whereas we can say, what is good, guys? Big data. So we can say here it as what? Big data. So the massive amount of data, that is the massive amount of data is called as the big data, where the big data, guys, everyone, is classified into three categories. What are those? That means we can say in broad, we can have three type of big data, guys. We can have, what is that? Three type of big data. The first one is called as what, guys, everyone? Structured data. And then we can have what? Semi-structured data. And then we can say unstructured data. Structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. What is that? Structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. Okay, structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. Okay, structured, semi-structured, and as well as the unstructured. These are the three different type of data we can have. So let's discuss first of all, what is a structured data? So guys, everyone, the structured data is nothing but the data which is kept in the form of a table. Kept in the form of a table, where the table is the collection of, what is it, guys? Rows and columns. The table is the collection of, what is it, guys, everyone? Rows and columns. The table is the collection of what? Rows and columns. The table is the collection of what? Rows and columns. The table is the collection of what? Rows and columns. Everyone, okay? The table is the collection of, what is that, guys? Rows and columns. The table is the collection of what? Rows and columns. The table is the collection of what? Rows and columns. For example, I'm just taking up here, guys, everyone. So I'm using the name, ID, then you have a salary, then you have a job. Can you see here? These are the 4 different columns we have it. Wherein after these columns, can you see here you have what's it, guys, everyone? Alien, some ID number, and then you have the 3000 or 30,000, let's say here. And the job is the clerk. And then you have the next one. Can you see here, everyone? We have the next one as the Bobby, 40,000. In the same way, I can say what's it, guys? Software engineer. In the same way, I can say the third column here, guys, Cal, something like this. And I can say 50,000 here. And SSE, that means senior software engineer, guys, everyone. So this is nothing but basically, guys, everyone, this is nothing but basically, it is called as a structured data, where here you have the collection of rows and columns. Here you have a collection of what is it, guys? Rows and columns. Here you have the collection of what is it, guys? Rows and columns. Here you have a collection of what? Rows and columns. Collection of what? Rows and columns. That's it. So this is called as a structured data. So guys, how many type of data we can have? So when we talk about the whole process of data engineering, or we can say the Databricks, it starts from the data, where collection of data. So where do we get the data? From the business. What are the type of business we can have? We can have the social networking sites. So these are all the social networking sites which generates a massive amount of data. That is called as big data. Again, you have what? It is generated. The whole thing is generated. What's it? The second type of what? Business is the second type of business generates the data, where this data is nothing but we can also call it as an information. And this information we are getting it from the banking applications. Banking applications are those which are used at the bank level, which generates a massive amount of data. And apart from this, what is it you have it? We can also expect the data, guys. We can also expect the data from the business. That is called as what? Live streaming process. From the process called what? Live streaming process. What is my live streaming process? The continuous process where we always receive the data on the continuous basis, such as you have the stock market, and the value keeps on radiating here, and the values keeps on radiating, such as what is it you have it? Stock market is there. So stock market means what? You have the share market, stock market, and live cricket match. Likewise, wherever you have the very live type of data, where you get the data, and even you can say live weather forecast, that is weather you have it. So live weather, so that means you have what? This is the temperature at this particular point. After half an hour, the temperature may go up or come down, or even the pressure. All these things we can measure it. That is called as what? Continuous processing data. That is called as what? Live streaming data, guys. So these all generates here. And then you have what's that? The data or the information which you get it from the business. And whereas, guys, we can receive it as a human generated data or the machine generated data. We can get what's it? Human generated data or the machine generated data. So all this is called as what? Big data, massive amount of data, huge volume of data, etc. All this is nothing but the other name for the big data. Big data means, guys, massive amount of data, huge volume of data, guys, everyone, huge volume of data, where you have the huge volume of the data is classified or categorized into 3 categories. What is that? The first one is called as what? Structured data. And the second one is called as the semi-structured data. The second one is called as what? Semi-structured data, guys. So semi-structured means what? Structured data means what, guys? The data which is kept in the form of a rows and columns. So it is a proper form of tables. That is in the form of a rows and columns. Here you have what's it? Name, ID, salary, job. This is nothing but the columns you have it. Okay. These are called as what? Columns, guys, everyone. These are called as what? Columns. Am I right? So these are called as what? Columns. And the column consisting of what, guys, everyone? Rows here. And here you can say the same thing. Can you see here? Rows and columns. The data in the form of what? Rows and columns. So anyone, if you just look into the data, you can understand what type of data and what is this data is about, and what is the data is about. You can understand it very easily. So hence this is called as what, guys? Hence this is called as what? A proper form of rows and column formatted data. That's it, guys. The next one you have it as what? Semi-structured data, guys. The next one you have it as what? Semi-structured data. So guys, semi-structured data means what? The data which is recorded in the form of a JSON, the data which is recorded in the form of a XML, the data which is recorded in the form of a HTML, These are all called as what? Semi-structured data. Now, anyways, we will discuss what is the semi-structured data. We have it as well. Okay. Okay. We have what is that? We will discuss the semi-structured data, whatever we have it there. So when we talk about the semi-structured data, guys, okay, the data which is recorded in the form of a JSON is called as what? Semi-structured data. So what do you mean JSON, guys? JSON is nothing but it stands for JavaScript object notation file. JavaScript object notation file. Okay. JavaScript object notation file. What is it? JavaScript object notation file. What is it? JavaScript object notation file. You have what is that? JavaScript object notation file. Okay, guys, you have what's it? JavaScript object notation file. JavaScript object notation file, JSON. And whereas, guys, the JSON stands for what? JavaScript object notation file. And the data in the JSON is recorded in the form of what is it, guys? Everyone, the data in the JSON is recorded in the form of a key value pair. You can say what's it, guys? Key value pair. What is a key, what is a value, and what's a pair? Let's try to understand this. Key means what, guys? Everyone. Key means what? Everyone. Tell me now. The keys are nothing but the column names are called as the keys, guys. These are called as what? Column names. So always the column names are referred as what is it, guys? Everyone. Always the column names are referred as keys here. Okay. Value means what? The value inside each column. So can you see this is one value. So now if you combine the key and the value together, it is called as what? Key value pair. Key value pair. Pair means what? The pair of values, guys. The pair of what is that? Everyone. The pair of value and the key together is called as a key value pair. And always make sure the data in the JSON is recorded in the form of a curly brace. So I'll write the same data, this data in the JSON format and show you guys. Okay, how does it appears? So guys, as a data engineer, it is for very important for us to understand what exactly the thing you have it, what exactly the JSON file you have it, because most of the data you will find it in JSON form only. So here you have what's that, guys? Can you see? I'm using the first one that is called as a name. Then you have a colon, guys, everyone. Colon is what? Differentiating the key with the value. Colon will be there. And what's the value you have it, guys, everyone? I'm using the values ALN. Then use a comma here. Again, what's that you have it? ID. So I'm using the ID. ID is what's that you have it? 43 is the ID, guys. Everyone can you see it? So as there's a numeric value, it will not be placed under the quotes here, guys. Make sure. And then you have the, but keys, whether it is a numeric key or character key, it will be by default placed under the quotes here. Okay. So you have what's it? ID. And the next one you have what is as what? Salary. Salary is what's it, guys? You have it? 30,000, everyone, comma. Again, you have what is it, everyone? So I'm using the name, salary, and then you have what is it? Job here. So I'm using the job. So job is here, everyone. What is the job you have it? Clerk. So guys, clerk is character now. So once you have the character data, it is kept in the quotes here. Normally, this is nothing but the end of the first line. That means the same data is written in this format. The same data is written in this particular format. So hence, we call this data as what is it, everyone? It is called as a JSON format, where it is the collection of what is it, guys? Rows and columns. This is, sorry, it's a collection of what? Key value pair. It is a collection of what? Key value pair. So what is it? This is the key and this is the value. Together they are called as what? Key value pair, guys. Together they are called as what, guys? Key value pair. Together they are called as what, everyone? It is called as the key value pair, guys. Together they are called as what? Key value pair. Okay, everyone. The next one after this, guys. Okay, the next one after this. Together they are called as what? Key value pair here. Okay. The next one after this, can you see it? The next one after this, again, you have what is that? Everyone, the key value pair. The next one after this, you have it here. What is the next format of data? XML. XML stands for what, guys? Extendable markup language, or we can say exponential markup language. XML stands for what? extendable markup language or exponential markup language. That's the thing we have it. Okay, guys. And this is nothing but the JSON, guys. This is nothing but what? You can say this file is the JSON file. Okay. This file is the JSON file. JSON, that means within the JSON file, the data is recorded in this particular format. So you know the format. What is it? Key value pair format. And this stands for what? Whatever the, can you see this is the called as what? It's in the key value pair format. So here the data will be like this. Okay. So key value pair format where everyone. So this is nothing but the key and the value. Just for your understanding, I'm just placing it here. And now guys, let's see what is the XML. The same data, I will write it in XML and show it to you. So what in the XML, guys? XML, as you know, it stands for exponential markup language or extendable markup language, whatever we have it here, everyone. Exponential markup language or exponential markup language. Okay. Okay, guys. So next one, what is that you have it? Exponential markup language. Now let us see how the data will be there. So here it is in the form of a tags, guys. Tags. The data will be there in the form of a tags. What is a tag? The first one, two type of tags will be there. The first one is called as root tag. It is called as what? A root tag. And the second one we can say, guys, what is that? These are called as what? Row tags. Root tag and row tag, guys. These are the two things you have. Root tag and row tag. So guys, let us see how does the root tag works and how does the row tag will work. So here can you see, I'm just labeling this table first of all. I'm just labeling this table, whatever we have it here, with a name here. So what is the name I want to give it? The table, sorry, the table name I wanted to give it here as, can you see it? EMP. What's the table name I want to give it here, everyone? I've provided the name, okay, called what? EMP, guys. EMP is the name. So now let us use this EMP and see it here, guys. So how does, so now can you see here? The EMP will become the root tag here. Root tag means what? It will be on the top. So I can say EMP. And this is highly case sensitive, guys. Highly case sensitive. So we should always have it in the proper order. And then you have what's that, guys? Row tags. What's that you have it? Row tags. What is it, guys? Root tag and row tag. Row tag means what? Can you see here? The first row is what? Name. This is called as the opening tag. And then you have the name. This is called as the closing tag. Everyone. Between the opening and closing, you have what is it, guys? ALN. The value. So you can say value is in the between of both of them. And again, you have what is that, guys, everyone? ID, opening ID, and this is the closing ID. And between these two, you have a value. What is the value of it? 43. Can you see here? Again, the next one. There is no commas here, guys. Make sure there will be no commas here. Again, this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. And here you can say, what is that? Salary is the opening tag and slash salary. What is the salary value, guys? Everyone? It is what? 30,000. And again, what is the next thing you have it, guys, everyone? So I'm just opening it. So I'm using it as what? Job, opening job, and then I'm using the closing job here. That's it. And finally, the job is what? Clerk here, everyone. And after this, all things are done. That means the rows are completed. The first row, yes. Finally, you will end the process by closing the root tag. What is the root tag? You have it, just close it. When you want to close the root tag, you have to use the slash here. So this is called as the data in the semi-structured format. So always as a data engineer, guys, always as a data engineer. So we will be dealing with all this kind of data. We will be dealing with what? All this kind of data, guys. We will be dealing with what? All this kind of data. What is it? Whether it is a structured, semi-structured or unstructured. So already we have discussed the structured and the semi-structured, but what about the unstructured, guys? The third form. Basically, unstructured data is nothing but everyone. Unstructured is nothing but there is no structure actually. No structure of the data. That means, guys, there is no structure of the data. That means what? So the photos in your mobile phone. Then you have the videos. Okay, photos in your mobile phone. Then you have the videos, guys. Photos in your mobile phone, and then you have the videos, and then you have the chat history. All this can ser videos, okay, photos, videos, chat history. All this comes under what? Unstructured data. And now 80% of the data you will get it in what? Unstructured format only for a data engineer. Only semi-structured and structured, you'll get it only how much volume of the data? You will get only, guys, 20% of the data you will get it here. How much, everyone? 20%. Only 20% of the volume of the data you get it here. But 80% of the data, you will get it in what? Unstructured format only. So that means as a data engineer or as a, okay, that is as a data engineer, what is your job? Your job is to first of all perform the engineering activity on the data by converting the structured data to what is that? Everyone, structured data to what is that? Semi-structured. Then semi-structured to what is that? Unstructured. Sorry, semi-structured to what is that? Structured. So guys, can you see it? This is how we work onto the data here as a data engine. Okay. So we convert the unstructured data to the semi-structured, semi-structured data to the structured data. So finally, we work on all these kind of data, guys. That's the reason we have been discussing all this kind of a data. Now, the next question is, what about the data? Where do we store this data, guys? Whenever we have a structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured, everyone. Whenever we have the structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured, guys. Whenever we have the structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured data, guys. This is structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured data, whatever we have it. Structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured data, whatever we have it, guys. What we will do here is, everyone, structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured data. Okay, so here we store it into the Azure. We can store it into what? Azure. But where to store the data into Azure? The data can be stored into the Azure in the form of a Azure storages. What are this? Azure storages. So guys, we can store what is that? The data into the Azure storages. So what are the Azure storages we have it? Let's try to discuss all of them. And what kind of data are stored in the each storage. So guys, here you can say the Azure has 90 plus storages. How many? 90 plus storages, guys, everyone. 90 plus storages are there in the Azure, guys. 90 plus storages are there in the Azure, everyone. So the first type of storage is nothing but, you can say, Azure Blob Storage, everyone. Azure Blob Storage, Azure Blob Storage, wherein the Azure Blob Storage is nothing but the very basic storage in Azure, where we can store any kind of data. What do you mean any kind of data, guys? Any kind of data means what? We can store either the unstructured data, semi-structured data, or structured data. What's it? Any kind of a data you can store it here, guys, everyone. Okay. So any kind of data, whether it is a structured, semi-structured, or unstructured data. Okay, we can store any kind of data. We have what is it? Structured data, semi-structured data, or the unstructured data. Any type of storage we can have it here, but this is called as a limited storage. Means what is the limit? The limit is 500. 500. What is it, guys? The limit is what is it? 500. Okay, 500. Okay, TB. Okay, for 500 TB, you cannot store the data more than 500 TB, guys. But if you have the data, more than 500 TB, everyone. If you have the data more than everyone, if you have the data, okay, guys. So here you can say what's it, guys, everyone. Everyone, just have a look on this. Okay, so in the same way, you have what's it? The next storage. So coming to this, as this is a limited storage, if you have very massive amount of data, how to store it? That you can store it in the Azure Data Lake Gen 2. So Azure Data Lake Gen 2, again, it can store, what is it, guys, everyone? It can store any kind of data, either it is structured, semi-structured, or unstructured. But this is called as a unlimited storage. It is called as what, guys, everyone? Unlimited storage. It is called as what? Unlimited storage. It is called as what? Unlimited storage data. The third one, you can say, guys, Azure SQL database means what, guys? Azure SQL database. So Azure SQL database. Azure SQL database means what, guys? The Azure SQL database can store only the structured data. No other kind of data is supported here, guys. That is nothing but structured data. Structured data means what, guys, everyone? Structured data means what? Only the data which is kept in the proper form of rows and columns will be recorded. The data which is recorded in the proper form of rows and columns will be stored into the structured data. In the fourth, again, you can say Azure Cosmos DB, guys. Azure Cosmos DB. So, guys, Azure Cosmos DB can store, what is it, guys? It can store structured and semi-structured, but not unstructured data is not supported. Why? Because though it is a database, here we can say, guys, here we can say what's that? No SQL database. It is called as what? No SQL database, because there will be no SQL here, everyone. Because there is no SQL, everyone. Because there is no SQL, everyone. Because there is no SQL, we can store here. What is that? Because there is no SQL, so we can store even the semi-structured data, and there will be no SQL rules as well. So likewise, guys, you can have many other storage that is called as what? Azure, okay, on-prem SQL server. So if you talk about the on-prem SQL server, that means, okay, on-prem Azure, okay, virtual machine. Guys, what's it? Azure virtual machine on-prem equals server. Okay, on-prem SQL server. Okay, guys. So if you are working on-prem SQL server virtual machine, if you're using it, here also you can store what's that? Structured data. No other kind of data is supported here except the structured data. So, guys, when you talk about the database, except the Cosmos DB or the MongoDB, we can store anyways all this kind of a data, guys. Okay. So here you have what's it, guys, everyone? Azure Blob Storage, Azure Data Lake Gen 2, Azure SQL DB, Cosmos DB, Virtual Machine, and then you can also have what's it, guys, everyone? I can say it here as the Azure Synapse Analytics. Azure Synapse Analytics. So here you can say, guys, Azure Synapse Analytics. I can say what? Azure Synapse Analytics. So this can store the structured data. Why? Because this is called as a data warehouse of Azure, guys. The final cleansed layer of the data. The final cleansed layer of the data, guys, everyone. The final cleansed layer of the data will be recorded here. So hence you can say it is a structured, hence it is called as what? Data warehouse of Azure. Data warehouse of Azure. What is it? It is called as what? Data warehouse of Azure. It is called as what? Data warehouse of Azure. It is called as what? Data warehouse of Azure. Okay, guys. It is called as what? Data warehouse of Azure. So likewise, guys, you have 90 plus storages. So how to see this 90 plus storages, everything that anyways, we will discuss it in the tomorrow's session, guys. That's it for the day today. Okay. So let's end up the class here. And if you have any doubt, please, you can ask me now. Yeah. Any questions? And guys, if you have any doubt further, you can just contact me directly. Okay, guys, 9515240300. This is the now. This is my direct number. You can call anytime. Okay, we can discuss the things if you have any. Okay, that's it, guys. Yeah, please. Any questions? Go ahead.
Yes, so I just wanted to one quick question here. So are we going to cover PySpark as well along with
Yes,
Databricks?
yes. PySpark
Yeah.
is the, yeah. We are going to see the Databricks on PySpark only.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, nice session.
Thank you. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm ending up the class. Thank you, everyone, for attending. We'll just meet tomorrow the same time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.